Okay, here's the quick how-to. You're going to be replacing the bulb on this side. See, there's a little arrow down here. You're going to just push on this and kind of push hard, and it pops out like that. And then you just pull it out. It's got a little strap, so like a gas cap, so it isn't even going to go anywhere. Now, if you put your finger in here, and I know you might be afraid of that, if you feel upward, you'll feel there's kind of a channel up in about that direction. If you take this is a great screwdriver for this. Find this blue screwdriver. It'll be on the top of that big toolbox. But you just make sure you're hitting that hole, and you kind of go up. Whoops. Kind of go up at a little angle, and you're in a little tunnel up there, and you'll feel it just engages the screw. Now all you do is just lefty loosey until it's really loose, because the screw can't fall out. It's kind of a captured screw. And that seems loose. And now this thing is what we're going to want to try and pop out of here. It's just wedged in there. You might be able to wiggle it out. There we go. You might have to use slip a screwdriver. I've seen some videos where they try and take a screwdriver or some hard plastic, something. This is the bumper material, so it is plastic, but you can still scratch it. So now this comes out. These are where the two light bulbs are. You don't even actually have to unplug this if you can kind of support this. And all you'll have to do is take a hold of this and turn it counterclockwise 1/4 turn. And kind of click and rotate, and then you pull it out, and that's the holder for the bulb. And I showed you in a separate video how to put the bulb in here. And then you just put this back in horizontal again with this tab horizontal, and then you turn it 90 degrees clockwise, and it'll click, and that's it. By the way, there's the tip of the screw you just unscrewed, and you can tell it kind of points like that. So then you just bring this up, shove it back in, kind of back into its little well, and then take your handy screwdriver, find the tunnel of Philip. You'll feel it'll engage the screwdriver, the screw head, pretty easily, and then you just kind of, I have to use my fingers here to hold the light in. I like to turn these screws until I feel it go kind of click. That means it's the thread has fallen into, the screw has fallen into the thread track of the hole that they've threaded for it. And don't tighten this very tight. You don't have to wrench on this. It's just like finger tight, because it's plastic on plastic, and it's not going anywhere. And then once that's in, you kind of thread this back in. Thread that back in. Engage your tabs. Arrows down, and push on the top, and it snaps in place, and you're done. And your car will stop complaining. Okay? You're gonna be able to do that. So you see the bulb has two contacts that kind of wrap around the bottom, and that's where they weld it to the filament stems. And that slot of plastic then goes into this carrier, which has two pinching contacts that go against, that pinch both sides of the contacts on the bulb. And then now you can kind of see the little latch fingers on either side that grab onto kind of this little table that the bulb has. So when you get this, hopefully I'll already have pulled the bulb. I'm going to see how badly it behaves with no bulb in it, because the computer's fucking complaining and making it do the weird signaling. But you should be able to just, this is pretty easy to put this in, especially if you're watching it and not the camera. And you got to kind of push and work it in until it clicks both sides of the latch. Then that's in. Then you put this in to the other thing horizontally and give it the clockwise 90 degrees. And that makes these contacts on the outside of this thing make contacts with the wiring inside that thing that splits the 3 wires into a tail light and a brake light, synchronously or asynchronously. Okay, I hope that helped. I'm just going to pry this out of here again because I do need to do this test. But hopefully you won't have to do this. You won't even see this video if you don't have to do this.